going on, guys? My name is Ricky and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to kind of do something a little different. I'm going to be rebuilding my computer here. I've been using my laptop for the last 5-6 years, and my PC kind of got neglected, put in storage, and it's time for some upgrades here. A few months, I'd say about 6 months ago, a friend of mine whose computer I had built in the past had some motherboard issues, so I gave her my old board, RAM, and some other stuff. So mine didn't have one. I started doing some video editing for this channel and quickly realized that my laptop that is now starting to be dated could not keep up. So we're going to go ahead and rebuild the desktop, build an editing machine, and something that we can play some games with. So we'll just real quickly go over some of the parts that we're going to be using. For the meantime, we're going to use a 970 EVO. This is a PCIe 3 NVMe M.2 drive. I probably will end up replacing it with a PCIe 4, just because both the motherboard and the CPU that we have are have that available for the storage drives. So we might as well take advantage of that. But in the meantime, this one's going to work. The system is already water cooled from before, so I've already got the pump, the reservoir, the radiator, the whole 9 yards. So we're going to go ahead and continue that. The previous build, though, was this will give you an idea of how long ago it was that this computer was running. Was an old FX. I think it was an 8350 AMD. I think that was a bulldozer platform. And so it was an AM3 Plus, and so the water block that I was using does not fit the AM4 platform. They do make an adapter, but unfortunately, since it was so long ago, you can't even get the adapter very easily anymore. So we're just going to go ahead and update it to a new water block here. This is the EK Quantum Velocity AMD AM4 water block. We've got, right now, we're just going to go with, I think it's a pair of 8 gig sticks, so 16 right now. Yeah, 16 gigabytes of DDR4. This is the G.SKILL Trident Z RGBs, and I think the speed is 3600. I probably will add another set, just go ahead and make it 32. For now, we're just going to stick with the 2 sticks. My main objective was to try to just go ahead and get this up and running as quick as possible. And so we'll worry about adding some more later. The other things that's going to go in it is we've got the Ryzen. This is going to be a Ryzen 7. This is a 3700X. This will probably be something that gets pushed up as soon as the new Ryzens come out, because as of right now, I think we're maybe a month or two away from, or a month away from the new Ryzens getting ready to come out. The next series, I don't think they've decided whether they're going to use the 4000 or the 5000 name, but either way. I've also got an older Samsung 128 gigabyte, and this is just an old 830 Samsung. We'll just use that as just kind of like maybe a scratch drive for now, or just some miscellaneous stuff on there. Maybe even just a Linux or something like that. So we'll do that in there. The motherboard is going to be an MSI MEG x570 Unify. This is on the x570 platform. So excited to get all this stuff put in. As far as the graphics card goes, it's another one of those situations where I don't want to go buy a 2000 series because the 3000 was just released. So we had the 3080s was released maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago. 3090s were just last week. And if you haven't kept up with that, it has been ridiculous to try to get a hold of any of those. They were pretty much sold out within seconds of them being released. The 3070s, which is probably closer to what I'm going to be going for, is supposed to be released here in a few weeks. So there's no point running out and buying a 20 series graphics cards until we can at least see what the 3070s are going to look like performance-wise. In the meantime, a friend of mine lent me his older GTX graphics card that we're just going to put in there just so we can get the system up and running. And in the meantime, I can download the different programs I'm going to be using, re-download the whole Adobe suite, and do all the Windows updates and everything that goes along with the new build, because that's essentially what all this stuff is. Is going to be a new clean installation of Windows and the whole 9 yards. It gives me time to go through and clean the water loop out. It's going to be a 24-hour cleaning there. So we got lots of work. So I'm not in a hurry to go run out and buy a video card at the moment. So that will probably be replaced here in 2 weeks to a month's time. We'll go ahead and swap that out. While I'm running through the loop, getting it cleaned out on the water cooling side, I'm going to go ahead and just use the stock fan that comes along with the Ryzen series, and kind of just get prepared to really redo the water cooling loop the way I want it. I'm going to go from soft tube, is what I used last time, to probably a more hard line. Right in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and flush the system out and use the fan for now. Anyways, I'm going to finish tearing this apart, where I'm going to basically be pulling out all the old hard drives, the old HDD drives, pulling the cabling out, power supply, all the rubber grommets that go along with it, fans, and anything else that I can get, the screens. And I'm just going to give it a good thorough cleaning, wash all the dust filters and everything. The case itself, again, the system was built, I want to say I built this back in like 2013 or something, so this is an older case. The case is something I probably will eventually swap out again later, but again, the idea was just to get this thing back up and running so that I can have a computer to edit on in the meantime. So we're going to give it a nice thorough cleaning, put it back together, get the radiators back in place, start getting the loop running, because it's got to cycle for a good 24 hours, get the motherboard in and all that good stuff. It is a lot easier to go ahead and put this stuff on the motherboard before you put the motherboard into the computer case. Just kind of a heads up. So that's what we're going to be working on here. Alright, so now we've got the CPU put in, we've got the cooler set on top, the RGB lighting for the cooler is connected, and then also the RAM is installed. So one of the last things that we need to do before we can go ahead and put this into the case is going to be to get our M.2 Drive into a spot. So this board particularly has 3 spots you can put it in. We're going to go ahead and put it up here. You just got to remove a couple of screws, pop that heatsink off, and then we'll get this guy here installed. So I'm going to go ahead and get this heatsink off and we'll get that put in. Alright, so for about the last hour I've been running the water pump with some distilled water through my old radiators, reservoir and whatnot. I'm getting ready to turn the system back off. I'm going to go ahead and put the water block on here, go ahead and mount the radiators, one up there, May do the second one down here. I may not even use the second one. I haven't decided yet. If I do, it'll go kind of in that spot there. I would have to move the pump and reservoir up a little bit if I did. So I may just leave the second one off. I'm just kind of cleaning it just in case. I will be replacing it with some soft tube for now. If I do decide to change into a more a different case, then I'll probably switch to hard lines. But for now, I'll go ahead and use soft tube. So yeah, you can find this stuff at Lowe's. I think it was like $5 for 10 feet or so, which is definitely plenty for all I need. So the only downside is that they will stain over time. I had blue previously in a previous system, but that stuff did sit for quite a while after the computer stopped getting used. So it's something to kind of consider. I don't think it'll stain immediately. I mean, it'll take it a while, but it is a cheap and expensive way to go ahead and get your tubing done. What do we need them to do?
Hit that notification bell, smash the like button, and subscribe to the channel.